Welcome to the Ranch and Table Podcast, where we discuss all things related to our Texas ranch and our Ranch to Table restaurant located in downtown Rockwall. I'm your host, Lee Wells. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Ranch and Table Podcast. Thank you for being here today with me. It's Lee Wells, and I am so thankful you've taken the time to join me and talk with me about some things. I want to start out today by telling you this episode is brought to you by Wells Cattle Company, Burgers and Pies, downtown Rockwall. And if you don't know yet, it's the best burger I know how to make. Beef comes from my ranch, and we put all the prime cuts in the grind, so all the steaks, roast, brisket, all of that goes in and makes some of the most premium hamburger meat in the world. And so I hope you come down and try us out. If you're ever in Rockwall, home cut, hand cut fries, our own seasoning on those, and then handmade desserts. All of it's scratch made. So just come on and see us. We'd love to have you at 206 North Fannin in downtown Rockwall. So thank you for being with me today. I kind of led in last week with the idea that today might be a little bit different, and I was going to probably challenge our thinking a little bit, and so I'm feeling kind of spicy today. I want to start out by saying that I really want the very best for everybody in business. I hope you know that. If you listen to my podcast, you know that I am for you. I would never, ever try to hurt anyone. I would always just try to build up and lift up and all of that. So I don't want you to be offended, but I do want you to think critically today with me, if you will. And we're going to talk about a topic that I think a lot of times we just assume that it's okay, it's fine, everybody does it. We've grown up in a nation that does this, a whole society of people. And I want to talk to you about discounts. I am not a fan of discounting our products. I'm going to tell you why. And if you're one of them one of those folks that has a business and you're always doing some kind of promo, some kind of discount code, some kind of something, there's places for that, and I'm going to get to some of that in a little bit. But for the most part, I'm really not for discounting our products, and I'm going to kind of explain that. But it might sound different because I don't know if we talk about this. I don't know if we've ever really thought about it. And so there's a chapter in my book, Burger Brilliance. There's a chapter called Discount Games. And so if you have my book and you've read it, then you know where I'm going with this. But I'm sure there's lots of folks in this podcast that have not read my book, and, you know, it's available for you. Go to Amazon or come by the restaurant, get a copy. I'd love for you to see some of the topics that I discuss. But this is one of the short sections in my book, and it's called Discount Games. And I feel very strongly about it. I wrote about it. Now we're going to discuss it. And I want us to get into this today. And if you're ready, here we go. Discounts diminish your product value and your bottom line. I'm going to say that again so you heard me right. Discounts diminish your product and value your bottom line. We are all in the business to make a profit and not simply stay busy. You set your prices for what your formula ratio says. You need to sell what you can sell during a day, during a sales period, a week, a month. You have to sell what you need to sell at the price you sell it at to be successful. And if you're having to discount that to get business, I'm going to submit to you today, there's probably something else at play. There's probably something else going on that you need to look at instead of discounting, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But discounting creates more issues and more lost business than it ever brings in. I know that's hard to hear. I know I'm hurting someone's feelings right now. I really don't mean to. But you're in the business to make a profit. You are there every day giving your soul, your life to this, your hours to this, your stress to this, and you are doing it for a reason. You're building something for your family, something that will live on beyond you, something that will touch other people's lives every day. You are not doing it to do it for free. You are not doing it as a service out of the goodness of your heart. You need to make a living. You need to put money back. You need to have a savings account. You need to have a retirement. You need to drive a car that starts and runs and preferably has air conditioning and window tint and a nice vehicle. You need to live in a nice home. There's nothing wrong with any of these things. But when we discount too heavily, we dig in to our own pocket and take money out of our own pocket that belongs there to give away to somebody who may not even deserve to walk into our door. I know that sounds hard. I know it does. I know it does. I know it does. But let me prove it to you. Stay with me. Let me make my case before you get on my case. Discounting, I believe, creates more issues than it solves. And there are a few exceptions to this, and I'll get to those here in a minute. But successful companies do not depend on discount marketing to sell their products. Successful companies across our nation do not depend on discounting. When's the last time you saw Chick-fil-A or a coupon for Chick-fil-A for 20% off, or buy a Chick-fil-A sandwich and get one free? If you look it up on Google, Chick-fil-A does not offer coupons for their products. I looked it up before the show just to make sure I was talking truthful here. When's the last time you ever saw Apple say, buy one MacBook Pro and get another one free? You're not even going to find a different price on a MacBook Pro that is one-to-one, apples to apples. They don't even allow discounting. They're price fixed. And they don't have to discount. Now, sometimes you might find a cell phone carrier who's bought some iPhones give an iPhone away at some kind of deal. Well, that's the phone company that does that, not Apple. They don't have to. So when's the last time you saw a double-double at In-N-Out, buy one, get one free? You're not going to, because they don't need to play those games. They don't need that to be successful. They have found the formulas to be successful without playing discount games. And if you're feeling defensive right now, and you're someone that uses discounts in your business, let's dig a little deeper. Come on, go with me. Let's ask this question: why are we discounting? What is the reason that you feel compelled, that a company would feel compelled to discount a product that they've already got set at a fair price? Are you looking for more customers? That's probably it. Probably so. Because if you had a line wrapped around your building and you had all the business you could do in an 8-hour period, 10-hour period, whatever your hours are, you wouldn't be discounting what you're doing. That's just the way it is. You wouldn't have to, and you wouldn't. You wouldn't discount it if you didn't have to do it. And so usually it's for looking for more customers, more business, trying to fill slots and voids in our schedules and in our day that we need booked. Because if you were completely booked and you're as busy as you could be, you wouldn't be discounting. Raising Cane's has a line around their building every day, almost open to close. And they have never, to my knowledge and to my Googling, ever discounted a piece of chicken. They don't need to. Why would they offer something they didn't need to offer? Why would they slow down their process in their line with discounts and cards and different kinds of codes and things like that? They wouldn't do it. They don't do it. Their product sells without discounts. That's the fact. That's the bottom line. Their products sell without playing the game of discounting. So in many ways, discounts and people who discount their products, it can be an indicator of a deeper issue. Now, this is where we're going to get real, and we're going to talk about it for a minute because, again, I'm here to help. I'm here to throw some ideas your way to help you think through some things and maybe retool a product or an approach. Are discounts an indicator of a deeper issue? A product issue, maybe? A pricing issue? Maybe there's a customer service issue or a location issue. Maybe there's a marketing shortfall somewhere, and the only marketing that you know to do is to put out a 50% off, a 25% off on Mondays because Mondays aren't busy. And maybe that's a marketing approach. Well, let me just tell you, there's a million other marketing approaches than just taking money out of your pocket and giving it to somebody else. So maybe the marketing needs to be retooled so that you don't have to resort to giving away your profits. I believe sometimes, most of the time perhaps, the issues that we find in people who discount on a regular basis, they're trying to make up for a lack somewhere else to gain more business. And so this is what I want you to think about. Don't get mad. Just think. Many people who discount are, number one, looking for more business. Number two, it could be that their price is far above average and the discounts make their products affordable. So say a boutique style service, maybe someone that does facials or someone that does hair and nails or eyelashes are a big thing. I don't know anything about prices on any of that. So I can speak generally without taking any shots at anyone. I've never had my eyelashes done. I've had my eyebrows threaded a few times. That's weird. But my kids do it, and they say, "Dad, your face is, I don't know. I've got a beard. I don't know why my eyebrows matter." But have 3 ladies in the house, and I've had my eyebrows done. Recently, little known fact, I've had some pedicures, and I'm man enough to tell you I've had some pedicures, and those things are expensive. But anyway, my toes are in boots all day long every day, and so I'm not ashamed to tell you that my toenails are probably not beach ready. So they've been working on me, but some of that stuff gets expensive. Maybe the pricing for these items are boutique pricing and they're really high, and so the only way you can generate business is to bring the price down so that people jump on that and schedule and get in within that window where things are a better price. Why not just price the things where they need to be, where you're selling them at anyway? Why not just cut the game and just sell what you are going to sell at the price you need to sell it at instead of elevating a price so you have to play the game of bringing it down? I don't know. I'm throwing this at you as options, ideas. Maybe the price is too high and you're really not selling it at that price or not very many at that price. So why not consider bringing that boutique price down to a place where people just come get their eyelashes done, or they just come get their facials, and they just come get their Botox, or they just come get whatever they get at the price they get it at, and you stay busy like that. I mean, I don't know, something to think about, because there's some reason why people have to keep resorting back to discounts in order to get things done. And that's a hard way of running a business, is having to try to coerce people into buying your product at a certain time because you brought the price down to a place where it probably should have been anyway. So set a fair price and stay busy. And number 3, Could it be that people only buy that product when they feel that that product is finally at the right price? And what I'm talking about here is, say, like Hobby Lobby. It's systematic. It's cyclical what happens at Hobby Lobby. And recently I bought several frames, and I've had several projects going on. And Hobby Lobby is irritating to me, because if you walk in on the wrong day, or you walk in on any given day, and it says 50% off frames. Is it 50% off frames all the time, or is it just every other week, or is it every third day, or is it twice a month? Or I don't know. I don't know. I don't shop there enough to have the pattern figured out. But what is the point of this 50% off all frames? Not the ones that haven't sold for 6 months, but all frames. That's silly. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sure Hobby Lobby's doing great. They don't care what I think. I'm talking from a consumer point here. Why play that game? I don't want to buy a frame there that's not 50% off, because they're 50% off enough of the time. I know I can wait a minute and go get them at 50% off. It's a game. And who wants to play those games? I don't want to play those games. But anyway, here's another one, Black Friday. It's become a joke. It's a joke. It's so silly. They raise their prices just before Black Friday hits, and we watched them do this on Amazon and some other places. We watched them elevate their price, and then they put these Black Friday pricing out, which puts them almost right back to where they are normally throughout the year. We saw this. I was paying attention this year, and we saw this several times. It was a topic of discussion at our house. It make you feel like you're getting something special, and you're not. It's a game. It's a game with your mind. It's a game with your money. It's a game with your time. And I don't think that we should put people through games to buy our products. I don't think we should game people into buying us or waiting to buy us or the products that we have. I just don't think it should be that way. Let me explain it this way. You lose money at least 3 times, probably more, at least 3 different ways when you play discount games. Now pay attention. I'm going to prove it to you. Let's say I, a burger man, want to put a buy one, get one free burgers on Mondays deal together. BOGO Monday. We'll call it BOGO Monday. Now, I could do that, but if I do that, here's what happens. Number one, I'm going to lose money on Mondays, because half of the burgers that I've raised the beef on my ranch, ground all the steaks in, put all the freshest ingredients, branded the bun, bought the buns from a bakery we get deliveries many times during the week. I mean, it's the freshest ingredients. I'm paying premium for all the things that we're buying, the best mayo, the best this, the best that. We're making 5 sauces a day, okay? So on Monday, I decide I'm going to lose money because I'm not busy enough, and so I'm going to do buy one, get one free burgers on Mondays. First of all, this is just so dumb I can't keep a straight face. But let's just say I want to do that. And so I'm going to lose money on half of the food that goes out of my kitchen. I'm not making a dime. And I still have overhead. I still have electric. I still have payroll. I still have taxes. I still have mortgage. I still have everything that has to happen for you to come in and sit down and eat a burger, and me take care of the trash, and me take care of the cleaning, and me take care of the Coke machine, and me have all the sauces and everything, right? So I have to have all that ready for you to come in and sit down, and half of your table is eating for free. So I'm losing money on the product. I'm really losing money in more than one way here, but we'll just call it one. In all the overhead in all the salaries and everything, the whole formula that I'm supposed to have calculated out as a responsible businessman and responsible for my own business and making sure that my structure, pricing, and all of that works, my business plan works. I'm losing money on half of everything we do that night. That's one way. That's the obvious one. And now I'm also going to lose money in other ways. I'm going to lose money because I have created, listen careful to this, I've created a primary day to buy. I've created a premium day to buy my product. Mondays are the day to go to Wells because Mondays, half the people there eat for free. Bring your wife. She eats for free. Bring 2 kids. One of them eats for free. It's buy one, get one free day. Mondays are the day to eat at Wells, right? Now, this is fictional. If you're just tuning into this part, please understand this is a scenario that I will never do. It's just an example. So I've already lost the money on half the food that's gone out. I didn't get a discount on making any of that food, on creating those cattle, the beef, all that. No, I didn't have any kind of deals on my end, but you got the deal at the table. Then secondly, I've created this primary day to buy. What happens on Tuesday? Well, now on Tuesday, I don't want to eat there. I don't want to eat there on Wednesday. I'm not eating there on Saturday. You know what day I'm eating at Wells? Monday. Why? He's losing money on Monday, and I'm taking full advantage of it because that's just the kind of person I am. So now I'm losing money on all the product and all the overhead. I'm losing money because they're not coming on Tuesday. They're not coming on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're targeting now a primary day of Mondays to come eat with me. What happens in real life? Real life gets in the way. Soccer games, baseball games, volleyball games. Every kid is in every sport, and it's amazing how kids and parents can navigate multiple kids in multiple sports on every night of the week. But here's what happens. There's all kinds of games that come up. There's all kinds of stuff, sickness, job, having to work late, things that get in your way to not be there now on Monday. So now not only are the people not coming on Tuesday or Wednesday because Monday's really the day to go, but now they can't go on Monday because life got in the way. So I'm losing money again because I've created, with discounts, I've created this other world force that is driving people's mind, their psychology, on whether or not they're going to eat with me or not. Does this make sense? I hope I'm making sense because I'm saying a lot of words. I hope I'm getting through to you. I can't see you nod when it's on a podcast. So I've lost the money first. Now I've lost the money a second time because you planned to come back next Monday, but you didn't make it. And then number 3, you are actually telling people when you do this that you don't have to charge full price, but you do every other day. So now there's this breach of trust. There's this, again, psychological thing that happens that people may not even realize is going on. It's a psychological hurt. This leads to distrust that says, if you can do that on Mondays, why aren't you doing that for me on Tuesdays? Why aren't you doing that for me on Saturday? If you can do that on Monday, why can't you do that any day? It's like when you go buy something on the internet. Have you been on, think about this, you've been on the internet and you're going to buy Alpha Brain or you're going to buy some product, I don't know, whatever the product is. And they say one bottle is $99, but if you buy 2, we'll throw that bottle in for $75. So we go from 95, or we'll call it 95 to 75 just because I'm getting 2. And today only, if you go for a 3rd bottle, we'll give it to you for free or something like that. Now, how in the world does that math work? And then you go on and say you pick those 3 because that's a deal you can't refuse. And if in the next 2 minutes you buy this, we're going to throw in this pill bottle catcher thing that sorts out your day-to-day pills, and we're going to give you this free glass of take the drink with. You're going to get all of this stuff in this whole package. What? What's going on? I thought that bottle cost me $95. Now I've got like 5 bottles and a glass to drink it with and an organizer and all this other stuff for like hardly any more money. It breaks down the trust between the consumer and the producer. It breaks the trust that one bottle really costs $95 to produce and give you over to use, because you've just diminished all of your value of that $95 with all the other stuff that followed. So now, when you give a discount, you're telling me that your original pricing every other day is really not your bottom line value pricing for me. That's really elevated. That's really jacked up. And it doesn't feel good to have to pay full price when these other times you don't have to pay full price. Do you see the game that I'm describing? Do you see the problem here? And maybe I hope it's making sense. Maybe it's clicking with you in your heart and your mind. I would rather someone be straight with me and say, this is what my food cost to serve it to you. Of course, I'm going to make a profit on it because I've got to be here next year doing this same thing for you. And if you want me here next year, this is the price I have to get today to be able to cover everything, put some money back, and be ready to be able to do this again and again. So everyone understands that there's a profit built into something, or who gets out of bed for nothing. But whenever you start breaking that price down into places that it doesn't belong, because you need business, because you have to feel like you're busy, because you're going to trade your sweat and your effort and your work for money that should be in your pocket, it doesn't make sense to even the consumer if they stop and think about it. And so what happens is you create more negativity than positivity around your product, causing you to lose credibility and trust with your customers. The more discounting you do, the more gimmicks that you pull, the less trust and value you have in your community. I'm going to take a cheap shot here, and I hope my friends that are in this business don't get mad at me, but it's like the mattress sales. We're coming into the new year. I guarantee you, I don't have TV. I don't watch cable and network TV and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be car sales and this low price, and there's going to be these mattress sales. And when I was young, I don't know if it's anymore because, again, I don't watch TV, but it was like every other week a mattress store was going bankrupt sale and going out of business sale, and then they were still there. And this going out of business sale, we got to liquidate everything. Everything must go. And then you look around, and 2 months later, 3 months later, 6 months later, they're still in business. And then they say it again. And you're like, dude, I don't think I believe you. I don't trust you. And I'm not buying your stuff because you lied to me. You said you were going out of business. You said you were going bankrupt. And you played me to come buy a mattress at a price you could sell that mattress for at all times, but you don't. And there's a distrust and a brokenness that happens in that relationship that is very, very hard to ever overcome. One of the reasons I believe that we have done well as a business in Rockwall and all of the other businesses I do is because I am honest to a fault. I am as honest and as straightforward as a guy you will ever meet. My dad was honest, and it was almost a negative. He was so honest. He would be so honest with you, he could hurt your feelings. My dad was an old rancher, just a old school, and he told it like it was. I hope I'm a little more polished than that. I hope I'm a little more refined than my dad was, but I'm telling you, my dad, he could hurt your feelings being honest with you, because he would rather be honest with you and tell you the truth than for you to walk away thinking that he held something back, or he didn't tell you the truth, or he just, I think it was he just loved people enough to tell them the truth. And I just have his DNA and his genes, and I am my father's son a lot of times, and I would rather be honest with you, and I would rather let you know exactly what we're doing and why than play games. And I believe that works very well in business, especially local business. It does very well because people know what they're getting. They know they don't have to question what they're getting, and we don't play games. I've never discounted a burger that I know of. I've never discounted anything that I know of, because I try to give a price that's fair for what you're getting. I try to price the food that we serve at the right price for the value that you're getting, and I stand behind that, and I feel comfortable with that. Yes, there's profit built in. There has to be. Why would I get out of bed? Why would I run the stress that I run if there wasn't some profit to send my kids to college and get my daughter a car last week because hers went out? Because if I can't do the things that I need to do, what's the point? I don't think anybody worries about that. I don't think anybody cares about that. As long as we're being honest with them and we're not playing games. And discounts create a place for trust to be broken. Operating a business is a relationship of trust. People must trust that you are giving them the best price possible every day. With a high level of trust, you find that people will open their wallets. They are happy to pay what you require. And when you offer those different prices, that trust comes into question. So now for the caveats. Here's the places where I feel like discounts are okay. They're acceptable. They have a place. Number one, clearance items. I'm okay with that. When you need to get rid of something, get it out of the way, get it off the shelf. People expect that clearance, you're probably not making money. You might even be losing money. But they understand that that's why you're doing it. That's why you are putting that price at half off, so that you can move that even at a loss to make room for new products. Makes sense. It doesn't break trust. It's understood. You're actually being honest with them, saying, this is a clearance item. I marked it down because it's got to go. It's my last 3. They're weird sizes. They're in the way. I've got a whole bundle coming of new product, and I've got to make room for it. And everybody's on the same page. It's not a problem. It's no big deal. It's okay. You're not breaking trust. They're willing for you to lose money, and they'll buy it, and they'll take it, and it's a win-win. It's okay. Number 2, special programs. I think of Texas Roadhouse, another place that doesn't give any discounts because they don't have to, because they've always got a line out the door. But Texas Roadhouse does something that I admire. On Veterans Day, they do a thing where veterans eat free. Now, to me, that's perfectly okay. Everybody knows on that day they're going to lose money, but they're willing to lose money to give back to the community, to honor these men and women who sacrificed, gave, was away from a family, veterans. I mean, where would we be today if it wasn't for our war veterans? I mean, that's an amazing cause. And it's good, it's right, and everybody knows. It doesn't break any trust, because everybody knows that day they're going to lose money because they're feeding so many vets, so many veterans, that there's no way they could be doing great that day. But they're willing to take that loss to give it to them that's amazing. That's not the same thing in my mind as a gimmick just to get people in the door. They don't need to do that to get people in the door. They're not slow on Veterans Day anyway. They're going to be just fine, but they choose to do it. And I think because of their motivation and what they're doing, I believe that makes that okay. And then number 3, give backs, education, community programs, charities, all understandable. We do the same thing at our restaurant. We let youth programs come in and work for an evening, and we give them back a percentage. Those kinds of things, and even discounting or giving away product. We give away gift cards for raffles and things like that. I don't think that's the same thing, and I think you'll understand and agree that's not the same thing as like a buy one, get one free night gimmick. These are the caveats, and there's probably a couple more if we were to sit and discuss it, where a discount or a program, that kind of thing would make sense. Like when we had Sterling Tea as our sponsor, they gave us a discount code. We asked you to use it. That is a marker that shows them how well their advertising's doing, and it's an incentive for you to be a listener of this podcast, and they're willing. See, so those kinds of things, that doesn't diminish their product, in my opinion. We all have opinions. But there are some things that I think that are probably okay, and then there's some things that I think that really hurt us, and I hope you can see the difference and understand. The issue to me is when we try to build a business with a deteriorating discount program that calls into question the general pricing and the business model that you set. And if anytime you undermine yourself, I don't think it's worth it. And for you to say half off or for this day, or 35% off on this day, or third off on this product, it kind of undermines, or it does undermine, your business model that you're working on. And I don't think we should ever do that. We should never sacrifice our business model and our pricing at the cost of trying to get someone in. Because when you do that, like on the fictitious buy one, get one Monday that we were talking about a while ago, we would just be busy without being profitable. And I don't think that that's good for any business, just to run around busy, to feel like you're busy, especially when it hurts you in so many ways. I think that it's something to think about. I think it's something to talk about. I welcome your feedback on this. I would love for someone to shoot me an email and say, you're wrong and here's why. Come on with it. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Just be ready for my reply to come back to you. Nobody likes working for free or for little return. So stop discounting all of your profits away just to feel busy. And I hope today didn't make anybody upset. I hope it might have maybe jarred you to think about the way you do things, and maybe rethink some of the strategies that you use. And I hope it was enough to make you stop and think. But please don't be mad. I want you to make more money than you ever have. I want you to be happy in your business. I want you to be fulfilled in what you get to do every day. And I don't want you to diminish it with discounts. If you don't have my book, I'd like for you to get it if you'd like. WillieWellsOfficial.com. You can come by the restaurant and get one there. I'm there on Saturdays a lot of times. I can sign it for you and notate it for you. And as always, I'm always looking for feedback. I'm always looking for comments to come back through, and people take a minute to say something about the podcast, whether you like it, you don't, whatever. Man, I'm opinionated, and I don't mind your opinions at all. So thanks for being here today. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you thinking with me. I got kind of revved up and wound up there in the middle of that, so I hope that's not offensive to you. I just feel very strongly that we should be very purposeful for what we are doing and the services that we're providing and the work that we're doing, to be the very best for our own families and to make sure that we're doing the right thing. So this episode of The Ranch and Table was brought to you by Wells Cattle Company. And come by and have a burger, ranch to table, have some hand-cut fries, homemade dessert, come by and see us. And we've got some new news coming out real soon. For those listening, you may or may not have seen that we have a second location coming in the next few weeks. So that's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it. We're going to be in a new area, a second location, and serving a different part of our community. So looking forward to all of that. I'm Lee Wells on the Ranch and Table podcast. And until next time, we say adios, farewell, goodbye, good luck, so long.